Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have Ubuntu 24.0 for LTS with us, and I know opinions are divided, but this is the first this is the first Linux distribution that a lot of people come into the Linux world with, and there are plenty of amazing changes that have been made, from a new installer with Flutter, a GNOME 46 experience, a totally redesigned software center, a ton of things to check out for us. And without wasting further time, let's dive right in. Okay, so this is the installer. We're not actually going to install Ubuntu, but let's just check out the installer. And even though we're not installing, we're going to show you the entire process obviously. So choose the language, English, self-explanatory, and off the bat, okay, I see accessibility in Ubuntu. Customize Ubuntu to your needs before you set it up. You can change them later in system settings. Makes sense. So you have, as for seeing, high contrast, large text, reduce animation, screen reader. For hearing, we have visual alerts. For typing, we have sticky keys, slow keys, and for pointing and clicking, we have mouse keys enablement. Zoom is desktop zoom. Now, I'm not very familiar with all of these because I'm lucky enough to have been blessed with okay body parts, and I don't have too much of a disability when it comes to these. But for people that have been born this way, that have been dealt a heavy hand, I do appreciate Ubuntu taking this step, and God bless them. So then you have your keyboard layout. So obviously we're going to go ahead with English United States. You can type in to see your changes. I mean, that's pretty good. And connect to an internet. We're not going to connect to an internet right now. Let's go ahead next, and an update for the installer is available. We're going to skip it. And okay, so how would you like to install Ubuntu? So you can have interactive installation, or you can have advanced installation. So for people with the want or the need to create a repetitive installation across maybe 50 or hundreds of machines, they're going to use a YAML file, and they're going to go ahead with a repeatable system setup. But we're not going to do that. You can also validate your install so that you are sure that your YAML file doesn't have any errors. But we're just going to go ahead with a normal interactive installation, and we're just going to select the default. Would you install recommended proprietary software? So you can install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware. So it says including but not limited to NVIDIA drivers and similar. This is a very good thing to see, because a lot of people are on hybrid laptops nowadays, especially for gaming. And I mean, for a normal install, you would want to click on both of these, click on next. I believe it's going to show us two options. So you can either go with a manual installation, or you can erase the disk and install Ubuntu. This is what we're going to do today. Let's just check what it is in the advanced features. So we have use LVM with encryption, ZFS with encryption, and hardware-backed full disk encryption. Anyway, let's just see what manual installation has for us. So here you could just put it here, then you could just say this. So this would be your ext4, this would be the main root partition, and this would be your boot partition. So you could go ahead and do that if you want something, if you want it to be manually partitioned, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to go ahead and erase the disk and install Ubuntu. So if you click on next, it would ask you to show your name. So why did it do that? Let's just go ahead and do this, and we're going to keep it at this. You can put your name, you can put your username to whatever it wants to be, Anirban007. You can enter a very strong password. I believe nobody does that joke anymore. And you can also use Active Directory if you want to. You require my password to log in. This is, I guess, pretty obvious. You would want to have that enabled, and I am in, even though I'm not in. But I don't know why, even if I click here, it just shows Mumbai. Mumbai is clearly on the western side of India. I'm not sure why. I've seen other distributions not doing this. So they're like, if I click here, they do take Kolkata. I'm not sure what is going on here. We're just gonna go ahead and dive straight into talking about Ubuntu 24.04 LTS Noble Numbat. This wallpaper is amazing. Let's just give you guys a very, very brief tour about the desktop environment, which is GNOME 46 Kathmandu. This is heavily modified, and I really like the color scheme that Ubuntu has for a long time, the Euro theme. So as we can see, pretty self-explanatory things are, by the way, we have a dock on the left. This is customizable. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. A show apps button in the shape of Ubuntu. As you can see, you can change your workspaces, so you can change your workspaces like that. This highlights the second workspace that we're on, and if you're back on the first one, this would go back to being a pill shape, and the other one would be a dot. These are GNOME 46 features, and I really like them. Then you have the calendar and notifications in the center, like it always was. Notifications are supposed to be improved, pretty standard stuff, do not disturb and calendar. And at the right, you have the accessibility button. So you have high contrast zoom, you can enable a couple of things. You can go into the detailed accessibility settings as well. And you have a button for taking screenshots, you could do that. You have another button for going to settings, which we already did, so it just opened up accessibility by default since we already had that enabled. And you can also lock down, log out, or restart or suspend your computer. That's pretty good. And here you can change your desktop audio levels, so that's something which is okay. And you can see a little animation at the top right corner showing the different levels. A beautiful, small but beautiful visual indicator. And over here is your internet connection. So this is inside a virtual machine, so it would only show me the wired connections. But if you had a Wi-Fi adapter, let's say if you're using a laptop or a desktop computer with a Wi-Fi card or something like a Bluetooth internet installed, it would show you the Wi-Fi options as well as the wired ones. Here you have power mode, so you can change it to power saver or balanced, or if you had it installed in a bare metal system, you could have changed it to high performance as well. Dark style changes the wallpaper. I really love that. Let's just open something, for example, files, and I really love this. Man, this is like a thing for all of my videos, like what kind of theme I'm gonna go with, like dark style or light theme, which is gonna look better for the video. And this is your like app drawer, whatever you want to call it, and we come with additional drivers, calendar, camera. This is a new app. The Cheese app was replaced. I believe this is Snapshot or something. I covered GNOME 46 in way more details in other videos. I'll link it down in the description below the like button if you want to check it out. It'll do me a little bit of favor. You also have firmware updater, Gparted for manually partitioning your disks, settings, language support, document scanner, image finder, calculator, videos. Pretty standard stuff. You also get power statistics, Remina, Shotwell, and the LibreOffice suite. Software updates, pretty standard. And you have a pagination arrow so that you can change over to different pages. You have software updater. The two software updaters are different, by the way. You have startup applications, and not only can you add applications, but also you can set different commands to be applied when the system boots. Text editor and transmission, which is your standard BitTorrent client. Okay, so yeah, dark mode seems very good, but we're just gonna stick to light mode for the video, even though I find this to be a better suited style, but I just believe that this wallpaper is a little bit more colorful and a little bit more attractive for the video. So let's just go to settings, and settings is mostly the same, but a few things have been tweaked around. So earlier you had a privacy tab. I don't remember what the name of this tab was, but now privacy and security have been combined together. And I'm not sure why devices is appearing here like that, but must be a beta bug. So you have connectivity, screen lock, location, file history and trash, and diagnostics over here. And then inside the system, you have regional language, date and time, users, remote desktop, secure shell, and about. So I believe these are the two tabs that did receive an update, and instead of them being separated, they're now together, and it looks really good. You can just go ahead and click on software updates. I believe this would open the GNOME Software Center, or I mean the clone that Ubuntu made. And I believe they have changed it this time around, so this is now called App Center. Let's just go to About and let's just see what we have. So this is the Noble Numbat development branch. I am on my virtual machine, and this is the system details. You can see that we are running on 6.2 gigs of memory, just some things which I have assigned. And interestingly, it also is using the 6.8.0 kernel. So this is going to be a very, very, very latest kernel, and this is good because Ubuntu LTS tends to lag just a little bit in terms of the kernel updation or upgradation, even though Ubuntu team has a hardware enablement plan and they do regularly update, but it's still not as fast as something like Pop! OS, which is a more gaming focused distribution. Now, obviously, if you know your way around any Linux operating system, you can just go ahead and upgrade the kernel by yourself. But this is a LTS kernel for people who need stability and they are not worried about it. And a very interesting thing is we are on X11 instead of Wayland. I'm not sure why this is X11. Please let me know down in the comments. I believe this should be Wayland. Let's just continue on with our tour. And like I said, yeah, settings app is going to be very familiar to a lot of you guys. Landscape, you have resolution picker, refresh rate, you can change the scale, and you can have fractional scaling, which is becoming increasingly important nowadays. Sound, power, multitasking, so you have hot corners enabled. Basically, if you put your mouse in the corner, something is going to activate, so you could do that. You also have active screen edges, so you can snap your window left and right, which is pretty cool. You have Ubuntu desktop. Let's just go through it. So the desktop icon size can be changed to small, large, and teeny tiny. I believe normal is normal for a reason. This is a 1080p screen, by the way. You have the show home folder, auto hide the dock, which is not something I would do, but okay, so you're only auto hiding when you have a window over it. Panel mode, so the dock extends to the screen edge. This would be turning the panel mode off. How I like to have it is like this. So the panel mode is turned off and the position on the screen is at bottom, and now it looks really good. It kind of looks like Mac OS has that feel, and I really love this look, by the way. So I think I'm gonna stick with this for the video, and you can change the icon size as well. You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. We're just gonna keep it at 48 because I think this is pretty good, whatever this has. Fedora, I typically don't like the GNOME desktop on Fedora. It's just a little too big without modifications, and I generally download extensions to make it smaller, and but that's it. Anyway, we also have enhanced tiling, so we have tiling pop-up and tile groups, which are pretty handy whenever you're multitasking on different things. Okay, so now that we're done with that, let's just go ahead and talk about files. So Files app is, I mean, it did receive a few massive changes during the GNOME 46 release cycle. So nowadays what you would get is a universal search folder, a universal search button, and you can search anywhere. And if you click here, you can also filter with dates. You can filter, you can select what kind of files you want. Anything is the default, and you can search for full text or file name. This is very comprehensive, and I really like what they're doing with Nautilus. And you can change the list view to a grid view. You can change the grid view to a list view, so it would show you the modified date. There are a few things which you can change, by the way. So you go to preferences, and if you come down below, you can see that they have included another detailed dating style. Hear me speak. So this would be a little bit different. Like, this shows you the entire date, a little bit more consistent. But for me, I think I would just prefer it to be whatever it was originally. Simple date, I think, looks better. But this is my opinion, and you can do what you want. That is the way to think about things. And by the way, for this button, it says search current folder. This does exactly what it says. And if you click somewhere else, or if you go back, then this becomes a path, and you can modify the path to go wherever you want to. So that's that. And this is a really good file manager. I believe it's simplistic and it really looks nice. And if I go to home, and if I change it back to grid view, I really love how these icons look. Let's just go to dark style for a second, and I really love this, man. I'm tempted to keep this for the rest of the video, but let's just go back to light theme, and let me know down in the comments which theme you like on Ubuntu, by the way. because I think it depends on my mood, what I like. Let's talk about the App Center in GNOME, in Ubuntu. And this has been totally redesigned, and I think it looks amazing. Now, I know the controversies around Snap and not supporting Flatpaks, but let's just keep that aside for now. Let's just talk about what an amazing job Canonical has done with the Software Center, and I think it really looks nice. You have an Explore button on the left. You just jumpstart your desktop. You can discover more, and it would give you a list of apps which kind of are already there on your computer and other things which you might want to install. I see Transmission has the name Samir Sharma. That's an Indian name, and yeah, man, go India. Okay, so you can go to Featured. So this would be a tab, so you can sort by relevance. You can sort by alphabetical order. Very good to see. Insomnia, this is one of my favorite apps. This is a REST client, if you know what it is. And let's see what kind of options do we get. So first, you can share the app with someone. So the link will be copied to the clipboard. You can flag it. You can report something. We're not going to report anything. And you can choose the channel. So you can choose the latest beta, candidate release, or the stable channel. That's pretty good. You can install it. Pretty sure this is going to be a Snap package, but unfortunately we don't have pictures for it. Description is also very limited. Collaborative API design tool, and you have information regarding the confinement, download size, license, and developer links. Let's just open anything else. Let's just see if we have pictures. Oh, we're not gonna get pictures because we didn't connect to Wi-Fi. I do have wired settings. I mean, the internet is working. Let's just open Firefox for a second. Let's just confirm that. Firefox took a weekend to load. Yeah, we do have internet. Okay, now you're coming. That was okay. Well, now we have it. Okay, fine, fair enough. Just needed a little bit of push. Under productivity, again, Chromium, Brave, different categories. You can check these out on your own. Pretty interesting. You're gonna have a lot of apps under here, development, games, Loote and stuff you can use. You already know how to use these things by now if you're watching this video probably. And if you don't, I have an amazing video of how to play any game on Linux using Loote. You can go check it out. I'll leave the link below the like button as well. Then you have manage, so you can check for updates, and if you have updates available, you can update them all, or you can update them one by one. You can click these three dots to open or show the details about the apps, and you also have installed and updated apps, and you can sort them with however manner you want to. Okay, so now let's move on to the appearance section. Let's see what kind of wallpapers we have, I guess. So, okay, we have a lot of wallpapers. Man, I'm gonna go crazy just trying to pick a wallpaper. Okay, I really like this. This looks really good. Could you just go over here? You can't? Home? You're not gonna move? Oh my god, home is stuck. There you go. Home was stuck there for a second. I'm like, what happened to you, dude? Good wallpaper. Damn, this looks amazing. Is it Mount Kilimanjaro? I believe it is. This is another Numbat, I believe. I've never seen a Numbat in real life. I mean, this is probably the first time I'm hearing about it. A beautiful wallpaper again. Probably Utah, somewhere in Utah. Aurora looks really good. I'm gonna have a really hard time picking one for the thumbnail of the video. I can already tell, guys. I'm gonna spend way more time on this than probably is necessary. Light bulb. Yeah, this looks really good as well. And you have different variations. This, I believe, is a dynamic wallpaper. You can see the stopwatch icon. It probably changes as the day goes by. This is really good, and you can also change colors. So not only would it change the accent colors over here, but if you open up, I mean, you can see it here as well. All of these would get a different color. This looks a little bit shabby. Let's just pick a brighter color, magenta. Okay. I'm bad with color names. And yeah, this looks pretty good. Very, very strong distribution. A lot of people's favorite and first distributions for a very valid reason, despite all the push to snap packaging. This kind of controversy is limited to the Linux community. People outside, like people doing, like people not concerned with the software, and people concerned with like people in other fields who don't really, I don't know how to put this without irking some people. Like people doing work on Linux and not bothering with these are not bothered with these. It's kind of like I saw on Twitter today. So like a person tweeted that their iPhone was giving them options while setting up the iPhone for a couple of different browsers, and they were like, wow, iPhone has included more options for browsers. This is just another step to setting up your iPhone. This is going to make things a little bit more complicated. And a lot of people were bashing her on the internet, but a lot of people were also in support of her. Like, I know where you're coming from, people who want more options, and the EU made them do it, and this is the right way to go to give people more options. I mean, you can't force people to use Safari, and like Google Chrome and other browsers were also like reskinned WebKits basically on iPhone and iOS. But a lot of people outside of that domain who are like hardcore iPhone users but are not that tech savvy, they just want to get on with their day. They just want to get on with doing their things, and they don't care if there is Brave or if there is Google Chrome or if there is some other browser. They just want to have their work done. They just want to talk to their friends and family, share pictures and photos. And even when it comes to Linux, scientists, most places you go to, you're going to find Ubuntu. That's the hard truth. And a lot of people don't care if it's a snap, if it's a Flatpak, or if it's a Debian file. Unless your version is very old and they need something for their academic purposes or for their professional application, then they're gonna find out that, okay, this is a snap, okay, this is a Flatpak, and then they're gonna change from Debian to Flatpak or to snap to keep their software more up to date. But apart from that, they're not gonna notice a small delay in opening up of snaps, or like they prefer Flatpak. They're not going to have any opinion on that matter, because all they need is for their software to just work when they need it to. Anyway, I believe that was a big rant, kind of not called for really. So yeah, I mean, I love Ubuntu. I love how the distribution looks. This is really, really good. I keep wanting to open apps from here, but I forget that this is on the right hand side. Maybe you can edit the dock and put it here. I'm not really sure. I don't think there is a way to do that. But yeah, anyway, this has been a great distribution. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.